I'm gonna continue working on my little Santa Claus rig. I did a few little things last night while I was offline, but not too much. But I did move forward a little bit. Got to test out some options. Uh, I should have popped my back before I started doing this. Kind of. Let's see here. We'll take a look at what I did last night offline. Kind of quick review, and I have an idea of how I want to proceed with the rest of this project. I think I want to. Well, it kind of came to me in a dream. You do something for so long, eventually you start dreaming about it when you go to bed. So I'm thinking I can mock up this character really quick using some basic shapes inside of iClone. And then I can use iClone's orthogonal camera to give myself an orthogonal. That's a really weird word. Orthogonal. I have a plethora of orthogonals. It's a stupid word. Now I'm going to be thinking about that. I think I can use that orthogonal camera to kind of mock up a basic 3D structure that I can move around in different angles to get the other angles and try to get a little bit more accuracy. I don't know. It feels like it should work. It worked in the dream. So we'll give that a try. All right, so I'll put that right there. I don't know what sound level my desktop audio is supposed to be. Testing. Okay. All right, let's get this shindig on the road. So, okay. Let's take a look at the character so far. So I'm really just focusing on the primary rig, the joints. Yesterday I worked out the joints, the main structure, and everything looks like it works fine. What I did here for the face, let's see here. So I got some eyes built in the mouth. That scary skull situation. That's its own little sprite. This beard, I'm trying it out to see how it goes as part of the actual torso. So this graphic is embedded in the torso layer itself, and the head is going to be on top of the torso with no neck. So the neck itself is not going to move. It would be impossible to make this type of neck move around, articulate, and it's really not necessary. So it'll just kind of move like that. And on top of that, we have, of course, these sprites here, which I'm thinking I might end up making the mustache itself part of the mouth, so the mustache can move when he moves his mouth. And of course, the mouth right now is just kind of like a masked out shape with a hole in it, which it should allow for some kind of this type of movement. So let's see here. Put everything back exactly the way it was. And let's take a look at it inside of Cartoon Animator. I think when I do the final rig, I I'm gonna do it in Cartoon Animator 4 just to maximize the compatibility. I don't know what would happen if I build it in Cartoon Animator 5. I'm pretty sure some fuckery is gonna stop me from having that character work in version 4, which is probably what most people are gonna stick with for a while. So I'd rather make it as backwards compatible as possible, and since the G2 structure itself hasn't changed much, I might as well do it in Cartoon Animator 4 or Cartoon Animator 3 just to maximize its compatibility with all last three versions of the product. I don't know. So, okay. So, let's see. Oh, I am gonna, for now, for the, what the fuck? For the sake of this video or this process, I am gonna be playing around with Cartoon Animator 5 because I'm also working on trying to scope out all the new features if there is any, which I may or may not be able to use. So, all right. So, okay, so in order to get this character in here, we're going to need a G2 character to use as a base. So I'm going to drop this minion in here. So now that that minion is in there, I'm going to take my character, export him. Where did it go, George? Which way did he go? Right there. And I'm gonna use this button here, composer mode, to replace the sprites with the ones from the custom template that we're building. Okay, there's some wackiness going on with that foot there. Let's try something. Human. Let's try it with this guy since it's within Cartoon Animator 5. Let's see if that makes a difference. I don't feel like figuring out their bugs right now. There we go. Whatever. So, oh, here's something I noticed last night. So ever since Crazy Talk Animator 2, there's been this bug in here that hasn't been addressed, and it probably won't, but I just want to point out that these guys have had about 6 years to fix this, and in 6 years they haven't done anything. So if you're working with these type of heads, I go to face preview. By default, you end up with a face that kind of moves like this. The moment you touch this, okay, it does what it's supposed to do. It gives me that depth effect. But the moment you touch that, you can't go back. So you're stuck with that forever. So don't ever use that if you think that you're gonna need to kind of go back. So that bug is still there. So now, when I go back, if I want to put it on face depth 1, so it's completely flat, I can no longer go back to a flat face. So that's a bug that's been there, and it's been reported for at least 6 years now, and it hasn't been addressed. So yeah, you're stuck with this. Don't ever modify a character that's not supposed to have this, because you won't be able to revert back to its original form. Another bug that I found that that's still there, and it's been there for at least 4 years because I think it was introduced in Crazy Talk Animator 3. You're supposed to be able to go in here and just update the SWF file. So rather than re-importing everything, it should just allow you to import the new changes. So if you just select update, it'll destroy your character. Update actor success. Yeah, that looks like a success to me. So yeah, that bug is still there. Amazing quality control Reallusion. Okay. So here's my character. Here's what I've been working on so far. I got the beard embedded as part of the torso, and this mouth hole is there. There's certain things that I was kind of looking over last night that my intuition is to continue doing the multiple sprites the way it's the traditional characters are, with all the individual body parts. That's the best way to ensure like the ultimate customizability level, that like my ability to create and control this character just the way I want is for me to take my time and do all the individual sprites. But there's kind of a lazy way of actually doing this also, which may be feasible for me to work with. So I'm going to put that semi 3D face there, and I'm going to go to modify. Let's see here. Edit, convert to G2 facial system. We'll keep the sprites. So this particular facial system, it uses like enveloping to manipulate the graphics so that you don't actually have to do the multiple sprites. So it kind of gives you what you want without too much effort, but it's not very accurate. It doesn't do blinks very well, and it doesn't do like mouths opening and closing very well. So it looks like this. So, it gets me a decent amount of the way there just with that, so I don't have to do all that manually. Of course, stuff like this I could modify just so it doesn't look too weird. So I could go in here and just manipulate this character using these envelope functions, and probably call it a day, do it the lazy way. But I probably won't do that. I just wanted to kind of point that out. Look at the calibration under that.
Smile, angry, sad, happy, surprised, and scared. Up, down, left, right, and some natural movement. Eyes closing and blinking. Up, down, left, right, and rolling. A, E, I, O, U, and meow. smile, angry, sad, happy, surprised, and scared.
Oh, I had the microphone turned off. So you guys didn't hear my story that I just finished telling. I'll tell it again. I went to this Chinese buffet not too long ago, maybe a few days ago, and I was surprised about at the stuff that they had. They had chicken's feet, pig's feet, and frog legs on the menu, like on the Chinese buffet thing, you know. Very interesting. And no, I did not eat any of it. I'm not that brave, but I thought it was pretty interesting. F8. Yeah, well, that music, it kind of sounds like pretty much generic cyberpunk type music. They have it listed as cyberpunk, dark, copyright free. Whatever helps fill in the dead air, you know. Doesn't sound too bad. Good background music. Okay. You. So let's see if working with a perfect circle will yield better results. Oh, I keep wanting to press that damn button. Alright. Sorry, guys. The direct messages are not gonna get responded to right now. Don't be selfish. Join the live stream. Ask your questions live. Your questions will benefit the community. Did I bring them in? Oh, I need to update the template. I keep forgetting to do this. Control Alt Shift S will export the Flash movie, and it will allow you to bring in a new one. So let's see how that would look with that circle thing there. I'm not too sure I'm convinced, but let's take a quick look. Edit. Show hide. Where's the thing at? Is it gonna let me edit, convert. No, it's not letting me do it. Convert, or maybe it's already converted. Yeah, it's already converted. That's why it won't let me. So let's see what that looks like from here.
Up, down, left, right, and some natural movement. Eyes closing, and
Let me see. Also,
A, E.
it doesn't move it. But okay, I think that's about as much as I'm gonna experiment with that. I just kind of wanted to see it. Face preview. Let's put it on 4. And let's run the test.
A, E. Up, down, left, right, and some natural movement. Eyes closing and blinking. Up, down, left, right, and rolling. A, E.
Boom, 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 boom. Let's try this smooth mode. I guess I gotta manually do this.
Up, down, left, right, and some natural movement. Eyes closing and blinking. Up, down, left, right, and rolling. A, E, I, O, U, and meow. Smile, angry, sad, happy, surprised, and scared.
There's something there.
Up, down, left, right, and some natural movement. Eyes closing and blinking. Up, down, left, right, and rolling. A, E, I, O, U, and meow. Smile, angry, sad, happy, surprised, and scared.
That's cute. All right, let us continue. Now, I did have an idea. Which involves exporting what's the best way to do this without breaking it? File, export, image. Oh, I already got one here. Oh, but that's like a huge. Okay, let me try this again. File, export, image. Minimum area, export. Okay. I'll just put that thing back in there. Let's save it. And we're gonna run iClone. And I'm basically gonna use iClone just as a kind of a development tool, because we're not actually building something for iClone. But in my dream last night, I was able to mock up this character using basic 3D shapes like little spheres and stuff. We'll see if that's even a feasible thing. Very interesting to see if this is gonna work. There it is. And yeah, not much to be said there. Export. Output size. We don't want to. Let's work in a perfect square format, also known as Academy Standard. Props. 3D blocks. Okay. Let me see if I can get my 3D mouse connected. That might help with some of these movements, 3D angle movements. Oh yeah. So let's see here. So far, this is actually working out just fine. Yeah, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as a reference for the other character bases, for the other angles. I'm gonna take this, well, after I do the hands, I'm gonna project it in orthogonal view, if I can remember how to do that. Here it is, camera. This only works with the preview camera. So it gives it everything nice and flat. So let's see here. So that's my front view. See how everything is kind of just being projected flat? So I'm gonna go, if I wanna get a reference for my 45-degree angle, for example, I'll put 45 right there. And I can use this to sort of rotoscope or trace my outlines of the perfect flat 45-degree angle. Notice that even though it is a 3D object, because it's orthogonal, the leg in the back is exactly the same length as the leg in the front. The arm is exactly the same length as the arm in the front. This will allow me to create, I'm thinking it will, I've never done it before, but it should allow me to like just sort of trace the body structure in an orthogonal view, so that when I bring it back into Cartoon Animator, it puts it back into perspective mode, but it gives me the right proportions to use. It's all theoretical, hypothetical. I keep using those words interchangeably. There's my 90-degree angle. So there's a perfect orthogonal 90-degree angle. It should work. I mean, yeah, there's no reason why it shouldn't work as a reference. really don't think I need to worry too much about the hands, but I might as well do it since I'm already there. I'm pretty sure I can draw hands very easily. Yeah. Or at least we're figuring out like the perfect 45-degree angle and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about the top and the bottom. I wonder what that looks like. There you go. That's not bad. And I think there is some kind of clipping thing that can be also added on top of this. But maybe not on the preview camera. It doesn't work with the orthogonal view, so it might not be as useful. But there's this clipping thing. I can't remember what the useful proportions are. Let's try 50. Alright, let's try 40. So there's this clipping thing that can be used to kind of slice through an object to kind of get a visual idea. Unfortunately, it only works with the perspective view, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, this would be really useful right here. If I can have this at the same time as orthogonal view, then I could get the exact joint sizes and size relationships. That would be so fucking cool as a reference tool. Oh well. Fortunately, that's not available in this mode, so gotta have one or the other, and the perspective one I mean, there's no point to that. If you're doing perspective and you're using the perspective as a reference, you're just gonna end up with some really, really overly perspectivized, is that even a word? Results. But I think that's it right here. I think we got it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I'll try to get a picture. Let's see here. 45. I'll render it out. It's an image. Let's do 2000 by 2000. And maybe I should hide that image now. Or just delete it. I don't need it. Export. Desktop. Santa Claus 45. Maybe I can do a PNG image. Well, I think that was a PNG image. Doesn't this allow me to export as transparent? I thought I had the ability to export with transparency. I mean, I guess that shows how often I use that feature, but I could have sworn anti-aliasing, high quality depth of field, reduce color banding, render quality. I don't see options for transparency, project properties. Auxiliary light. Auxiliary light might help also by reducing a lot of that unnecessary. But I don't think it'll render with the auxiliary light. This is another feature I wish they would allow, because this auxiliary light is really good for creating like a cartoon effect, because it doesn't have too much of those shadows and stuff. You can get like really nice cel shaded effects just by turning on the auxiliary light. Unfortunately, you're not able to render that out, so it's useless. And it doesn't work with other cameras. It only works with the preview camera. Enable temporal anti-aliasing. Turn the image background off. Oh. Image background, where is it? Excuse me. There it is. Ah. You know what? This light here could also probably be useful by providing a visual reference of the lighting against the character. Wow. See, you can use iClone as a basic tool like Photoshop without the actual thing that you're making in iClone be the actual end product, but rather just a tool for something else. I'm okay with that. Looks good to me. So now let's see, this is 45 degrees. Um, let's do 90 degrees. Well, I don't think it's exporting it, but uh, still not a bad idea. That is under preferences, I think. Activate gamepad. Oh, I'm gonna turn this shit off because I use the gamepad for Unreal Engine, and I've been having this crazy difficult time controlling my Unreal Engine with my gamepad. And even though iClone is in the background, both of those things start moving at the same time. So that's where that is. I gotta remember in case I need to turn it back on though. What was I gonna turn off? The thumbnail generation. The grid, there it is. All right. No, it still kind of gets in the way though, especially for an orthogonal view thing. You know, it's always gonna show it flat anyway. So, did I export it? Oh yeah, I exported it. So let's try another angle. The other angle is something like this. It's like the opposite of the 45-degree angle, but from the back. $135, I think. Yeah. This is gonna help. Man, I'm telling you, you go to bed thinking about whatever thing you're working out. You're gonna have dreams, and you're gonna resolve them in your sleep, man. This is pretty sweet. I think this is gonna work out just fine. It's gonna definitely improve the scale, the keeping everything on scale, because eyeballing it is not always the best option. Let's do this 180. I keep pressing Control Alt Shift S as if it's gonna export a PNG file like most other programs. There's gotta be like shortcuts for like some of these common things, like if I want just to export an image, or there's gotta be shortcuts for this tools right here, select and world move and stuff like that. Most programs you click V to get this thing. You know, S for scale or Q sometimes, but there doesn't seem to be any obvious keyboard shortcuts for that shit, so I have to keep pressing the buttons. For move is W. Okay. So it could be Q for the other one then. See, what's cool about this little thing that I'm playing around with is that it also gives me a perspective idea of how the hands should be. Like if the hand is over here, I should be able to see the inside of the hand. Also here with the fingers coming out. Obviously the thumb is going to be on that side on this hand, and the other one is going to be on this side. So this is cool, man. Look how weird this looks though. Like the back leg kind of looks bigger than this front leg, but they're actually the same size. All right, so we're back to the front. See, I'm noticing this, like for this type of thing, the feet, I usually put them like flat straight, but based on this view, it's coming out as a bit of an angle downwards. That's something I never take into account. So, let's see, Q. There they are. It's the top row, the QWERTY keys, which is the QWER. All right. All right. Let's do top. Export. I don't think I really need to, but I might as well since I'm already here. Bottom. I think that gives me all the major angles that I need. That was productive. I was thinking it at first as, you know, well, I'm gonna experiment, spend some time trying something out. It may or may not work, but you know what? It turned out to be really productive, I think. Let's save this. I might need it. I don't think I'm gonna need it anymore, but okay. That was an hour well spent. Was it an hour? So we'll do this here. All right. Move this to the bottom. Lock those two. File. Import to stage. Desktop. That's one way to maintain the volume across multiple angles. That's not bad. I just gotta lock it in here and just kind of figure out where I'm gonna put my body parts and stuff. So the belly button is gonna be right here. Something like that. I'm gonna have to carry it over from here. Oh, actually what I need to do is carry it over from the one on the left. Actually, I think I can just grab one from Puppet Producer. Yeah, I'll do that because that gives me a little bit more accuracy than just kind of rough drawing it. Okay, so that gives me the actual size that I'm using. And see how far off I was on the placement of that joint. This joint should be right here. Yeah. All right. And of course, not these don't have to be perfect because ultimately it is a cartoon, but it can be close. Thank you. Now I wish I could go back and use that 3D front angle to redo this one. Maybe for next time I might just kind of start there before I do any rigging. Start with like a mock-up like that, and then start my using that as a base. Cause yeah, that's a hell of a lot more accurate. That's, that's about right. Well, I don't think I have to work too hard to get this thing set up like this. I think I can simply start bringing in these pieces and just kind of do this so I can then change the angle. That's what I need to do. Well, that wasted about 20 minutes. I mean, I'm just gonna have to fix this angle for this hand though, so it adjusts itself to the 45 degree. But that's not a big deal. It's close enough. Yeah, let's see if we can get this torso. Yeah, that torso is gonna work out just fine. I might have to smoothen this out a little bit more here. Okay, I got it. Oh, that looks horrible. I almost had it. Wow, it was very close. It's close enough. You missed everything, bro. How you doing, One Gun? I I used iClone as a tool. I exported. Um, what I did was I exported an image of my original design, my front angle, and imported it into iClone. And inside of iClone, I did a mock-up using like spheres, and I was able to exploit their orthogonal feature for their camera, for the preview camera, to generate an orthogonal view of that same shape, because these needs to be drawn in orthogonal view where the legs and the arms and whatever body parts, they're the same size, so they have to be drawn in a way that they're not in perspective. So the theory was that I would be able to just kind of get a mock-up in orthogonal view that I could use as a reference to trace or a rotoscope or whatever for the actual angles that I need, the 45, the 90 degree, the 135 angle. And it worked. So now I have this nice little reference that I can use for these angles, and they should give me like a very accurate turnaround for these characters, and will allow them to stay consistent as far as their look. So yeah, I was able to use iClone as basically just an authoring tool rather than something that would use the tool to make films or an end product. I was just able to use it like if it was a type of Photoshop. It worked out. She saw me do it. It's too late. We're a little late for that. She saw me do it. Yeah, but check that out. Perfectly on model reference in orthogonal view. Once I actually create my angles in the 2D mode, when Cartoon Animator adds the 3D skeleton to this, then obviously that leg over there is gonna go to the back and it's gonna look smaller and stuff, and it'll just go back to being in like a real perspective. So it looks like it's gonna work out. So I'm actually excited. I want to finish this. See, another benefit that I noticed was having that basic key light is also giving me a sort of a cheat here, like a little reference for the lighting, on how I should do the lighting across all these angles. so that they match the same lighting. So let me continue to do a little bit more roughing out of where this body part should be. I'm thinking I shouldn't actually start with the actual artwork and stuff until I finish all the facial sprites and all the hand sprites for this. That way I can start using some of these over here and just kind of cannibalize them. Make sure I save my project before everything crashes on me. It's gonna be a sweet character. Are you streaming today, One Gun? getting ready to take my little break here. I think I've done enough work on this guy for right now. Maybe I should think about giving this guy glasses. I don't know. Too busy. Santa's got booty. Santa got back. Do 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 do. Hmm. That looks about right. Excuse me. All right. Well, that gives me a pretty good amount of progress. I have a good idea of where I'm going to go next with this. So, we're gonna call it a day for this particular stream. I may be back later on, working on something else later today. We'll see. Yeah. So I've added this as a playlist. So going forward, I'll be able to to continue working on this and just keep them all in one folder. That way, I have like the entire documentation, start to finish, on how I made this particular character. Uh, Before I go, I wanted to try something though, because I am looking to see if I can monetize these live videos. Let me know if this commercial pops up on your end. Feel free to skip it. I don't care. I want to see if it works. Later on, I'm going to be taking breaks every now and then, like maybe every 15-20 minutes or something. Get some water, get some coffee or whatever. And I might as well utilize that to get some advertising done in there. Y'all let me know if this works. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. All right. Well, I don't know whether it worked or not. So you guys let me know. Maybe later on I'll get to try it a couple more times and actually take some breaks every hour or so and see if that works. That looks like it could be a good feature where I could take advantage of the fact that I'm taking a break to actually collect a few cents in YouTube advertising without any drawbacks to anybody. For the time being, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time. See y'all.